If I handed a stranger your email and the city you live in, could they slide into your inbox tonight? If your answer isn't a hard no, this is the episode to watch end to end. Today we're talking about the single upgrade that shuts down most account takeovers: two-factor authentication, 2FA. I'll explain each idea the moment it shows up, and instead of a click-by-click tour, I'll tell you where to find it in plain language and focus on what really matters: the traps, the human mistakes, and the reasons this works even when you're tired. Let's set the stage. Two-factor is just proof in two different ways. First factor, something you know, your password. Second factor, something you have, a changing code on your phone or a tiny hardware key, or something you are, Face ID or a fingerprint. Why isn't a password enough? Because passwords leak. We reuse them. We fall for lookalike pages at 1 a.m. And the bad guys aren't guessing. They're replaying known passwords from old breaches. Add a second factor and the same old stolen password hits a deadbolt. Imagine the attacker already knows your password. With 2FA on, that's still not a ticket inside. Where do you actually turn this on? In almost every service, the setting lives under security, sign-in and security, or password and security. Email, social, shopping, banking, cloud storage. Look for two-factor authentication, two-step verification, security key, or passkeys. That's the one general note you need. Now let's dig into the substance: what to pick, what not to trust, and how to think about risk like a pro without living like a paranoid. First, the menu. Ranked by real-world safety. SMS codes are those 6 digits sent by text. Better than nothing, yes, but vulnerable to SIM swaps, where someone convinces a carrier to move your phone number to their SIM. Authenticator apps. Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, Authy. Generate time-based codes on your phone that refresh every 30 seconds and never travel through the phone network, which means there's nothing to intercept. Hardware keys, YubiKey, Titan, are tiny USB NFC devices that speak a phishing-proof language called FIDO2 WebAuthn. Even if you're tricked into typing your password on a fake page, the key refuses to talk to the imposter. It only works with the genuine site. Biometrics like Face ID and fingerprints are great on your own device, but for web sign-ins, you still want an app code or a hardware key as the second lock. Now, why 2FA matters beyond extra step. The internet doesn't attack you personally. It attacks at scale. Bots reuse credentials from old leaks against every site you might use. If your password pops somewhere, the bot tries it everywhere. Your inbox is the master key because it resets everything else: socials, banking, cloud drives, your store admin panel. Protect the keymaster and you stop the domino effect. This is also why "I'm not important" is a myth. Attackers don't care who you are. They care that your account can move money or reset passwords. Another uncomfortable truth: we get hacked not because we're foolish, but because we're human. We're in a rush, we're traveling, we're juggling kids and deadlines. At 11:47 p.m., your account will be locked in 10 minutes. Confirm now is persuasive. Two-factor forgives busy. It's a speed bump that forces one tiny pause and kills most clever tricks. Let's talk about the two biggest misconceptions. Misconception 1. 2FA will lock me out when I switch phones. It won't, if you set up recovery properly. Most services give you one-time backup codes when you enable 2FA. Print them or store them securely in your password manager's notes. Many also let you add a second factor, a hardware key or authenticator on a second device you own, even a spare phone without a SIM. That way, a lost phone is annoying, not catastrophic. Misconception 2. My bank already texts me codes. I'm fine. SMS is a start, but for high-value accounts, you want in-app prompts, app-generated codes, or a hardware key. Stronger methods that don't rely on a phone number strangers can hijack. Let's zoom in on phishing, fake login pages. Phishing works because most of us don't examine every pixel of a URL at midnight. A hardware key or a passkey kills this class of attack. The cryptographic handshake simply refuses to happen on a lookalike domain. Even Authenticator apps help a ton. By the time you're grabbing your phone, your brain has an extra second to notice something feels off. Real-world implications, the ones people never see coming. Your social account isn't just photos, it's ad accounts, linked cards, and your reputation. A single hijack can run ads on your dime, DM your friends with scam links, and leave you explaining for weeks. Your cloud drive isn't just files, it's scans of IDs and tax documents. Your store admin isn't just the shop, it's your payout settings. Your developer console isn't just tech stuff. It can mint keys that let someone read customer data. The day after a takeover is a pile of reset emails, angry messages, and chargebacks. All of it is 100 times less likely with 2FA. Let's address friction honestly. Yes, 2FA adds a few seconds when you sign in from a new device. But most services remember trusted devices, so you don't see it every day. The cost is front-loaded. The benefit is continuous. And passkeys are making that cost even smaller. Sign in becomes use Face ID or touch your sensor, and you're in. That's the direction the web is going. Less typing, more cryptography, fewer phishing attacks. Recovery matters as much as setup. If you're turning 2FA on today, take 60 seconds to add safety nets. Save backup codes offline like you would a passport. Add a second recovery method, another device you own for the Authenticator, a hardware key, or a recovery email you actually control. For your most critical accounts, register 2 hardware keys. Carry one, store one. If a site lets you designate trusted devices, list 2. Think layers, not luck. Now, the social engineering angle, because many attacks don't bother with your tech, they go after your habits. The polite thief sends you a login code you didn't request and asks you to reply, "Stop. Don't reply." Change your password on the real site and make sure 2FA is on. The helpful caller pretends to be support. "We detected suspicious activity. Read me the code we're about to send." No legitimate company asks for your one-time code by phone or DM. That code is the key to your house. Keep it like a house key. Team and family realities. For teams, make a short list of must-have 2FA systems: email domain, payroll, cloud files, cloud admin, billing, the platform your business runs on. Issue each critical role a hardware key and register a second key stored securely at HQ. Put backup codes plus recovery contact in your onboarding checklist so this survives staff changes. For families, help your partner, parents, and teens turn on 2FA for the accounts that would wreck a weekend if lost. Email, mobile carrier, and financial apps. Teens lose phones. Backup codes save weekends. Let's walk through the threat model like a coach. What are you actually defending against? Credential stuffing. Attackers replay old email password combos. 2FA blocks logins even when the password is correct. Phishing. You're tricked into typing your password on a fake page. Hardware keys, passkeys, refuse the handshake. App codes force a pause. SIM swap. Your phone number is hijacked. Minimizing SMS 2FA removes the target. App codes and keys ignore phone numbers entirely. Session hijacking. Someone steals a Remember Me token. 2FA helps at the moment of login and, combined with device reviews, flags unknown sessions you can kill. Insider or shared device risk. Someone near you tries to reuse saved logins. 2FA breaks "I found your password in the browser" shenanigans. What about usability? Here's the honest balance. App codes are the sweet spot for most people. Free, quick, and good enough for almost everything. Hardware keys are overkill until, suddenly, they're not. If you run a business, handle money, publish to a large audience, or manage other people's data, they're a calm, permanent upgrade. Passkeys are the future. Logins that feel like Face ID and resist phishing by design. If you see the option, adopt it early for your most important accounts. Let's make this personal with 2 short snapshots. Snapshot 1. An entrepreneur uses a weak password on a throwaway email that becomes their main inbox. That password shows up in a public breach. An attacker logs in, tweaks invoice bank details, and money walks out the side door. Two-factor would have turned a six-figure loss into a weird code prompt and a saved morning. Snapshot 2. A creator's social account gets hijacked at 2 a.m. Ad spend spikes and DMs spray scams at followers. With 2FA on, and especially with a hardware key, the attacker can't cross the threshold. The difference is not technical, it's sleep. Now, I promised no click trails, so here's the general how-to you can do right after this video. Open the security or password and security section of your main email, your password manager, your bank, and your primary social account. Look for two-factor authentication, two-step verification, security key, or passkeys. Turn it on. Prefer an Authenticator app over SMS. Add a hardware key where it's offered. Save your backup codes offline. Add a second recovery method so a lost phone is a hiccup, not a meltdown. That's it. The specifics differ by platform, but the logic never changes. A quick word on travel and device changes. When you get a new phone, migrate your Authenticator entries before you wipe the old one. Most apps now support encrypted transfer or cloud backup with a second approval step. Keep one hardware key registered on your most critical accounts before big trips. And if you manage an organization, schedule a short account hardening day once a quarter. Review where you're logged in, prune old devices, and rotate any recovery emails that point to ex-employees. What about privacy? 2FA isn't just about stopping theft. It also stops impersonation. A hijacked account can message clients, family, and friends in your voice with requests that look harmless but aren't. Rebuilding trust after that is slow. 2FA is a quiet promise you make to everyone who relies on your identity online. If you get a message from me, it's actually me. Two-factor isn't a tech feature. It's a courtesy to future you and to everyone who trusts you. Let's tie it up so you leave ready to act. Two-factor means a password plus a second check. SMS is okay in a pinch but vulnerable to phone number tricks. Authenticator apps are stronger and free. Hardware keys and passkeys are the gold standard and stop phishing by design. Turn 2FA on first for the accounts that control the rest. Email and password manager, then money, then socials, then cloud drives and work tools. Save backup codes offline, add a second recovery method, and register 2 hardware keys where possible. When a surprise code arrives you didn't request, change your password on the real site and confirm 2FA is on. When someone asks for your one-time code, phone, DM, support call, the answer is no. Here's your 90-second plan when we're done. Open the security section of your main email and enable two-factor with an Authenticator app. Save the backup codes. Do the same for your password manager. Then turn on 2FA for your primary bank and one social account you use daily. That single block of work moves you from soft target to hard pass.